Hope everybody enjoyed the bye week. I guess I'll recap, starting with London. Obviously, that was a great trip. It was really nice to see how many Vikings fans made it out there. It was a great crowd, great experience. I got to get out a little bit, saw the London Eye, rode the tube, so it was good. Big Ben, all those things. So that was good. And obviously, it was a great team win. Contributions, especially defensively, contributions from a number of different guys. Whether it's Van Ginkel or Gilly or Harrison Phillips or Pace, a lot of guys played well. They played hard. He had a good week of practice. It's one of those weeks where there's a lot going on. There's distractions. You got your families going out, long trip. But I think thought our guys really, did a lot of good things throughout the week. That showed up in the game, and we really played well. But it does feel like it was a long time ago, if I'm not being honest. That was followed up by the bye week, where personally I got to spend a lot of time with my family, kind of recharge the battery. Watched all the games on Sunday, which I'm not used to doing, but that was fun. And now we've got a really, really good opponent in front of us, who playing really well, and really from top to bottom, starting with their ownership, and then Brad's done a great job as far as acquiring the types of players that they're looking for, and obviously Dan's done a great job kind of putting all that together, and they got great coordinators. AG's a friend. They're doing a good job offensively, and obviously Ben's done a great job offensively. So it's a talented team, really across the board. They play physical. They don't really have a lot of weaknesses. Normally you can, you watch the tape and you say, hey, we're going to attack them here. That's not really the case with this group. So really from the backs to the tight ends to the receivers to the O-line to the quarterback to the play caller, all of it is, high level. They do a really nice job. It'd be a big challenge for us. So got to have a good week of practice. Obviously get back in the swing of things after being off for a week. I'm excited to be at home at U.S. Bank in front of our fans. We need them to be loud. I'm sure they will be. It's a big game, so that's my recap.
Right. I think at one point during that game, the Detroit game on Sunday, Brady said something like, I sure would hate to be the defensive coordinator when this team gets on a roll. It's a defensive coordinator that has to face a team that could be on a roll. What do you think when you look at the wide range of what they're going to do? They can be power, they can be finesse, they can be everything.
Yeah, it's like I just said, there's not a lot of weaknesses here. They got a really good group. They're well coached. They're physical. They can play a variety of styles. Power run game. Drop back, play action, screens. Short throws, intermediate throws, deep throws. They got a lot of speed. They pose a lot of problems. So it's a major challenge. We got to have a good week of practice, and we got to play well. We got to play team defense, good fundamentals, good technique, good communication. But it'll certainly be a challenge.
I think your top three corners from when you faced them that 2 times in 3 weeks are different now. How much does that help having these guys in place that you went out and got?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to need our top 3 corners, our top 3 edge guys, our top, really, everyone's going to have to play well against a group like this. But I think, what the message was to the guys yesterday was, let's just do a great job of preparing. Let's know the opponent. Let's know the game plan, which we'll start getting into that tomorrow. And then let's play fast. Try to play physical against a physical group, and see what happens.
You mentioned during the bye week, spend time with the family and that sort of thing. And you mentioned that a few times since you came here. Just curious, like, how these past couple years have sort of gone for you in that area in terms of like settling into Minnesota and spending the time you have.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great year and a half, or yeah, roughly a year and a half. Look, Minnesota's welcomed me with open arms, and me and my family, and shown us, a lot of love, and I'm showing Minnesota a lot of love back. And really, that's, obviously I'm talking about the state and the people here, but obviously this building, whether it's, starting with Mark and Ziggy, and obviously KO and my relationship with him, which is phenomenal, and then our players are just, they're fun to coach. So I'm having a great time, and our staff as well. We got a great defensive staff, and there's a lot of laughs in that room, and while we're sitting there trying to figure out what's the best way to use IP, or to set up the next blitz. We all work hard, and we have a good time doing it. So yeah, it's been good.
Is that something you anticipated? I know, obviously coaches occasionally move around. You were doing them for a long time in Miami. Is that something you anticipated or knew anything about coming here, that it would be a place where you could kind of get what you just talked about?
I think, well, look, I didn't know much about Minnesota before I moved here. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I've got two very close buddies who moved here probably 15 years ago. They grew up in Harlem. They've got some cousins that lived here. They said they were going to Minnesota for a weekend, and then they never went back to New York. So the Coker brothers, they're very close friends of mine. So actually, I shouldn't say, I knew coming here I'd have them, and that's like family away from, the East Coast where I'm from. And it's been a lot of fun spending time with them and their kids, and I've gotten close with, obviously, their cousins, Max and Reggie, and Cliff and Coke. Cliff and Kelvin, I'll shout those guys out. They'll like that. And Marlene and Deborah, their moms, I'll say hello to them too. And Sailor and Ruby too, might as well. And Tia, and just, put everybody out there. Nah, no pets. But it's been great, just having some people that I'm very close to that are here, to give you that family vibe, to go along with, obviously, our players, our coaches. It's been a lot of fun here.
Brian, some of the players have talked about just the varied coverages you guys have been able to roll out this year. I'm curious, how has that affected the pass rush? How have you seen that just kind of help the guys up front, whether it's just buying that extra second?
I think that's, you said it. I mean, it's is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 1? Like, which one is it? And I think, the idea is to try to, make the quarterback, the receivers, figure it out. And, if they're, trying to decipher it for an extra half a click, that might be, the difference between making a play and not making a play. And that we talk about that a lot. How often it's this close. And so there's a lot that goes into that. It's not just, the various coverages. It's, your techniques, your fundamentals, your communication, your film study, your ability to anticipate. We talk about all those things all the time. Our guys, they take it to heart, and so, they work hard to get that inch, and that's shown up, a little bit this year. And I think we got a formula for how we prepare, and even that we want to ratchet up a little bit. As we move forward, we're still kind of building and still trying to improve and get better. But yeah, I mean, that's a kind of a small part of it, the various, coverages. But, At the end of the day, it always falls back to, their techniques, their fundamentals, the skills relative to their positions individually, and then doing it together. I think that's a big part of it.
When you look at the Lions, why has Jared Goff been so difficult to sack in general?
I mean, they got a really good O-line. He gets the ball out quick. The receivers get open quickly. There's obviously a rhythm and a timing that they've built over, a period of time that's, allowed them to, I think he knows where his receivers are going to be. They know that he's going to get the ball to them in a certain place. The O-line knows that, if they are, inside out on this one, he's going to have a pocket to step up in. I think all those things, they're really, playing together as a team.
Brian, as you left last year, and just maybe look back at what you guys did from a schematic standpoint, what was the process of coming up with / building the plan for what you guys were going to do this year? Where was the foundation of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think every year, every offseason, to me, I think, I don't want to say reinvent. That's probably not the word, but you self-scout. We've talked about this, and you kind of build a vision out for the next year based on, a variety of things. One, yeah, we did this last year. We did it well. Here's some things we didn't do so well. We've also talked about this. I'm constantly looking at what the new trends are, what the global trends are throughout the league, offensively, defensively, in the kicking game, to just really educate myself and try to improve. As a coach, nothing's more important to me than getting these guys good information and trying to be ahead of the game as far as some things defensively, so that we're putting those guys in the best positions to have success. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a vision for things that more probably hurt us than anything. How to fix that, and then build on some of the things that we did well. And there's a lot of time in the offseason to sit in there and talk about it, and that's what we do. We're not in there all night like we are now, but it's, hey, I got an idea for this, and I've got an idea for this, and what if we did this? And if we want to do that, then we should probably try to add this player or that player. I know we've talked about that, but yeah, I mean, I'm big on having a vision. I think that's once you do that, you can kind of set the trajectory for a lot of things. Scouting, building a curriculum to get all this stuff installed. When are we going to do that? That's OTAs. We got to get this done in OTAs. We got to get this done in minicamp. We got to get this done in training camp. You put all those things together, and I think just from a in my role from a leadership standpoint, I think that's how I go about it. I have a vision, and I try to put systems and processes in place to execute that vision.
Brian, kind of going off that vision, I think Kevin's talked about it a few times now, but sitting down with you and coming up with things and what you're looking for, and he kept bringing up smart, tough, loves football.
Mm-hmm.
Why were those three traits? How did you land on those, and why were those so important to both of you?
Yeah, I think this league's about developing. I think when you really kind of boil it all down, I think it's, there's the talent level, and there's not really a vast difference between, player A and player B. It boils down to opportunity, and then who's going to outwork, the next guy. And I think guys who are smart, guys who are tough, guys who are disciplined, guys who love it, they're going to develop. They're going to take the coaching. They're going to work the techniques, work the fundamentals, and those are the guys who get better. This league's about improving on a week-to-week basis, on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes you get a guy who thinks he's got all the answers, and sometimes he does, and that's good. But most times, most guys are third, fourth, fifth round undrafted. They've got some places where they need to make improvements, and they make them, and they normally, that normally pays off, and those are the guys we're looking for.
What has it been like for you to be back with Stephon Gilmore and just coaching him?
It's been great. I think one of the things that was awesome about London was I saw his family, and Gilly Jr. is much bigger than the last time I saw him. So I was like, is that? And then he came up to me. He's like, "What's up, Coach?" Gilly Jr. And so it was good to see him, his wife, his kids are getting big, and he's just a fun guy to coach. It's important to him. He's great with the younger players, and he's still got it. So it's a good feeling to have a guy in the back end who's kind of been through it, played in a lot of big games, had a lot of great matchups, and played at a high level. And he's good for the room. He's good for me, and I'm happy we have him.
Brian, the way he closed that game out with that interception, what do you think that he did to convince the officials to let him play? 'Cause a lot of times you would maybe see a flag in that situation, but he seemed to have the position and they just let him play.
Yeah, I thought he was in good position. I think that's a technique I know DJ had been drilling with our guys throughout the course of the week, and it showed up in a critical moment. And I think Steph got his head around, saw the ball, caught it, and it was just a really good play by him. But there's an experience factor there that that I'm not sure a lot of guys would turn the way he did, or believe in the technique the way that he did, and then make the play. So
Turn back toward the ball like he did, or which turn did he?
Yeah, turn back.
Feel the guy, it seemed like, but he turned back, but the guy didn't separate from him.
Right. I think it's some guys panic in that situation and just try to get the deflection. I think he turned back knowing that he was going to be in good position and made the play.
So along the lines of development, what have you seen from Dallas Turner here in the first two of the season? Just sort of in the context of dealing with rookies and as they come along.
I think Dallas has done a great job. I think he's, he got dinged up the 1 week, but I think he's an ascending player. I think he's been great in meetings, doing some good stuff for us in the kicking game. When his number's called, he's showing up defensively. Made a great play on the fourth down stop the other day. We're constantly trying to, figure out, how to, get him in, whether it's a package here or a package there. But I think he's in a really good spot, and I'm excited for him, now and moving forward.
Right, and on the topic of development, what do you think of what Taki's been able to do so far?
Yeah, I think Taki, dating all the way back to when we got him, OTAs, as a, undrafted, coming in for rookie minicamp, OTAs. He's just been solid in all areas. He's really a technician, at that position. He's hard to move. That showed up in preseason games, and, he made the team because of that. And that really hasn't stopped. I think he's still really getting working to get better. I know he's in after practice, getting extra work. He's a fun guy to coach. He's kind of like a lunch pail, kind of guy. Not a lot of flash. Although I did see him on TV at Oregon's game with some nice shades on, over the bye week. He was celebrating a big win with the group, so that was fun to see. I'm watching the game, it's a big game, and next thing I know, Taki is in Oregon, high five and the head coach. Dan's a good guy too. A big win for them. But yeah, he's been fun to coach. I think he's got a bright future.
Brian, when the opportunity to bring Steph here was presented itself, how hard did you push for that?
I think that smile on your face says it all. I pushed. I pushed. I was excited about the idea of it. Obviously, we had the injury early, and the death of Kyrie, the unfortunate, sad death of Kyrie, put us in a situation where there was a need there, and opened the door and create an opportunity for Steph to come in. And yeah, it was, I pushed. I wanted that to happen. So I'm glad he's here.
Was he part of your vision before the team had the vision? Maybe earlier?
I think, when we're in that free agency process and, you see all the names and, that's one that's there. And, I think there was always interest. But you can't do everything. I mean, I've been in it long enough to know that, it doesn't all always work out. But, fortunately this time, it was able to work out, and it was I guess the stars kind of aligned, at the very end there, and we got it done.
Is he the same player that he was in that Super Bowl when he's making that interception at the end?
He's still making interceptions at the end of the game, so he's still got it. He's still, fast and physical and smart. I think, as you get older, I think some of our older players, they know that you can rely a little bit on some other things. I'm not saying that he's lost a step or anything. I hope that's not how this is taken, but I think he's got a really good sense of what's coming based on playing for so long. And he uses that to his advantage. And he also gives that knowledge to some of the younger players in the room, which is, for them, you can't, there's nothing better.
Brian, from your perspective as a defensive guy, just watching Kevin O'Connell call plays, what's made him successful at kind of learning that part of the game, doing this really for the first time as a head coach?
I love KO's aggressiveness. I think, I think it's great. I think it's. I smile because it's KO. Because he's trying to knock somebody out, and I think it's great. I think it's. I think the confidence he has in the offense, the confidence he has in the defense, the confidence he has in the kicking game, the confidence he has in himself as a play caller. I think it's, you don't want it the other way. I'll put it that way. So I think he's doing a great job, really across the board. And, I'm going to do my part, and we're going to do our part to help this team. And, I'm excited about him, our offense, this entire team. And, I think he's doing great.
When you're up against an aggressive play caller, and I guess you'll see some of this weekend, how does that change things for a defensive coach trying to counter that?
I mean, I try to fight fire with fire, That's just me. I mean, some other people are different, but that'd be my answer to that one.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.